still January, so let's take a bite size to the latest action movie I have seen. Well, this is gonna be such a short vlog, so much that I got lazy and I didn't bother to put my computer on the desk. Instead, just watch Spencer holding this jar of honey. Hey, get it? Because the movie that I just saw is The Beekeeper. Nothing much else to say. When I saw the trailer, I knew what was this movie going to be. It was gonna be about Jason Statham being a badass, kicking butt. Just an action movie that you don't need to know the meaning of life or anything. It's just a popcorn flick. So when I see these kind of movies, this is one of those in which you don't need like a 30 minutes or an hour movie that you have to talk about. Even though sometimes it gets to me when there's something to talk about. I mean, last week's movie, the Night Swim, wasn't supposed to be kind of like that long, but it did itself because I just wanted to blurt it out. But anyway, like I said, I'm not exactly kind of like the biggest fan of action movies. Sometimes I am, but sometimes you have to be in the correct mood to watch these kind of movies, or else you're gonna get out the movie theater feeling, well, feeling like that the movie didn't deserve the money. In this case, well, if you want to go to watch an action movie, there you go. There you have it. Whether you like it or not like it, it depends on your mood. So, but at least I will give you that the premise is that, yes, Jason Statham plays the beekeeper. He is living with this landlord lady who is kind of like of age, until this landlord lady, she falls on a scam where because of her inexperience with computers, and she is very naive, she falls for it. You know, all these pop-on ads that they say that you got a virus and you have to, they pressured you to give up almost all your codes until they suck out the money of your hidden accounts and all that stuff. Well, that happens. And the old lady, she gets so shocked that she kills herself. And so when Jason Statham finds out about that, well, it's time for good old revenge. Because this guy, he's not just a guy who farmed bees. In reality, he was apparently an ex-agent from apparently the secret organization that they're basically kind of like secret agent elite with high intelligence and high fighting force skills. That their sole mission is protect the nation of the world in the shadows. In order to keep apparently the hive, the colony in equilibrium. And so and apparently this guy goes rogue because the whole scam thing is also protected by the powerful people, something like that. I'm trying my best to describe this way, because this way gives a lot of analogies to the bees, the community, power struggles, and you have seen this kind of movies a lot of times, especially when you are into these kind of action movies. I did too. You know, the lone guy who decides to go against the powerful for justice in this case. But that's what the movie is. It's just Jason Statham kicking ass, and you know what? The action scenes are pretty enjoyable. And as an action movie, yeah, there's some moments in which it can become predictable once you've seen one and many. But at the same time, it's just a popcorn flick that you just sit there, you keep yourself on the thrill, because you're gonna see, of course, what is next, what he's gonna do. And that's kind of like the beauty of action movies. But yeah, it's pretty cartoonish and anime-esque to see that nobody can stop this guy. He's just a one-man army that he managed to defeat a lot of people like he is freaking invincible. And and by the way, not only Jason Statham is kind of like the most well-known actor in this movie, we also have kind of like in the opposite side, because the real antagonist is this rich kid who's basically he is the one on the brains of the whole operation, and when Jason Statham as the beekeeper, once he locks target on him and anyone related to him. So this rich kid, he just wants his parents to to protect him, especially the father, who is played by Jeremy Irons, in which he knows about all this beekeeping operation. And you see that the guy is kind of like desperate and angry to protect his son, because well, he is his son, even though he knows that he's a douchebag. But still, Jeremy Irons, like always, he does his best with the role, and I did notice at some moments in which he does his scar voice in one way or another. And okay, and also we have kind of like this other subplot which involves the daughter of the of the woman who killed herself because she was scammed, and she. Honestly, this is kind of, she and her partner are probably characters that either they could have been written well, or maybe they could have been taken out of the movie itself, because I don't think they kind of had kind of like a bigger purpose into it, except that we have kind of like a character that she decides to investigate the whole thing, and well, she has her dilemma. She's gonna accept what the beekeeper is doing, because he said that I'm doing by the law, but this guy isn't, and all this stuff. They wanted to take this message a little bit too seriously, but it doesn't develop a little bit too much. Maybe if they could have written a little bit better, it could be understandable. But of course, it gives a little bit of a pass, because well, it's just an action movie, and it's one of those movies that it doesn't take itself a little bit too seriously. I mean, again, we're talking about a guy who beats up a dozen of people. Okay, another issue that I have a little bit with the movie is that I think there could be like 15 or 20 minutes that could be cut out or shortened out of the because sometimes the movie gets to feel a little bit long. But still, the thrill is there. If you're into the mood of a popcorn flick, the mood is still there. And also, you're gonna have to endure a little bit of cheesy lines. Some lines and some delivery of those lines are so cheesy that, again, you can't take it too seriously. There are a few moments that they do have a lot of B puns or B references. Like, for example, there is the "to be or not to be." Yeah, they have that in that movie, and also how can I? What else? There's also this Queen Slayer reference about the nature of bees. But overall, I had a fun time. Not much exactly to say about the Beekeeper. That's all I have to say about Jason Statham going against a group of scammers, which is run by these cartoonish evil youngsters that are probably the equivalent of the bad guy from what was it? The movie with I forgot the name, but for some reason they remind me of Seth Green from Austin Powers. that kind of guy. But anyway, I just hope that this movie is okay for you. If you go watch it, just expect to have some good old action movie fun, and nothing to cry out. To be or not to be a cinema watcher. I'm not good with this. Sorry.